You are watching
Trinity Episcopal School Production Network, TESPN.
Welcome to this week's TESPN podcast, and I'm thrilled to be joined by three senior football players, Brennan Ridley, Zahir, and Will Rosen, along with my co-commentator for TES football, senior Silvio Troy. And these guys are getting ready to play in their third consecutive state championship game, once again against Benedictine, this year over at their place at the Abbey, and also a rematch of a game the Titans were able to win a couple of weeks ago. So, I think the first thing I would ask you all as seniors who've been part of this program all for 4 years, I just want you to talk about the legacy that you feel you've left. I mean, your class of 2024 will probably go down as the most successful class in the history of Trinity football. And if you're able to get a third state championship, maybe the most successful class in any Trinity sport ever. I think there were a few cross country guys that won 3 in like around 2012 to 14ish or so. But I mean, not many people who've worn a Trinity uniform can make a claim to have won 3 state championships. So just talk about that legacy that you guys have left and what you've helped to build here.
I mean, it means a lot, but it's kind of like after we won our first one, I mean, after that, it's kind of just like anything other than that is like a failure. So, I mean, after we won the first one, that kind of set the goal for the rest of our years here. And it's kind of like a fairy tale ending coming up because I know our first game as a Trinity Titan was at Benedictine on their field, and that's going to be our last game this year. So.
Yeah, that's a really good point, kind of coming full circle.
Yeah.
Trying to think about what Brennan said. First year kind of set the standard for us, and I think that off of that year, we kind of just knew like what the expectation was from then on out. And I hope the legacy that we leave for the younger people here is that anything can happen through work, through dedication, and through teamwork. And I feel like our class really bonded over the years, and we've been through a lot, and I'm super proud of these guys and the things that we've done.
Yeah, I mean, for us as a legacy, we've done so much that other teams, we've worked so hard, and we've been through it all. We've had ups and downs, but the team, we've always come up right on the other side. I think that's the biggest thing that we can leave a legacy on, to work through the hard to get to the top.
Mm-hmm. And so, I mean, this is the third back-to-back state championship, and they're all against Benedictine. Played them throughout the season, have a winning record against them. I mean, last game, how does this rivalry kind of stand? They're clutch-time rivals, always been a rivalry kind of through school history. But over the couple past years, it's really bonded and grown very strong. Like, how do you guys, the rivalry kind of put more effort in? Does it affect kind of your play styles? How does the rivalry such kind of bring the game to be the game?
Well, it's to me, it's just like another game. I mean, they are rivals, but we got to do what we do first. So it doesn't really matter who we're playing, as long as we do what we know we should do and we execute like we should. So I think, it adds a little bit of fire to the whole team as in general playing Benedictine, but I think it really the focus is on us to do what we need to do.
Adds a little fire to the fans too, I think.
Yeah.
I would say, Benedictine's always a good team, and picking up what Will said, it's always about us. It's never about who we play, but obviously it is a rivalry. It is always an intense game. A lot of emotions, and I feel like the best thing that we can do is not let the emotions blind us from executing. And I feel like we've always done that great in the past, and that's what we preach to the team this week too. It's not too highs, not too lows. Another game. We did this before. We practice hard, we play hard, and nothing changes for us.
Yeah, I feel like if you ask any one of our coaches, they'll give you like a similar answer. Like, it's never about them, it's all about us. But if we're being honest, it always is different when we go out and play them. Like warm-ups, the student section is always a little bit louder. Everybody's always a little bit more hype, and it kind of just builds pressure. But I feel like we play best when there's a lot of pressure. Like, every time we've been set up on a big stage, we've always came out on top or rose to it. So I think it's actually really good for us.
Yeah, and Brennan, you say all the coaches would say that. It actually just occurred to me since we've been rolling that all 3 of your dads help with coaching. Everybody, of course, hears Zahir's dad, Wally. We can hear him all throughout the campus during practices, but I see your dad, up top this year, and of course your dad will working with the linemen. And what's it like just having each of you to have your dad kind of be part of this process, and just as a family, how does that affect your experience here?
I mean, it's hard at times, but it's also fun at times. But it really shows like who we are as a program. Like everybody wants to be involved in it. Like anybody can get. Everybody wants to do their helping hand and like anything to help us win. So it really shows like how well we work together and like where the program's going, like from an overall standpoint.
I would say like my whole life, my dad's been my coach, and it's been fortunate to have such a great defensive mind in my household that has the NFL experience and has also worked with countless high school and college athletes at the same time. So like sometimes it's tough, it could be butt heads about certain topics, but just like any father-son relationship, you always find like ground in the end. And I think what Brennan said was excellent too. It helps show what the program is going to be. Everybody wants to chip in. Everybody wants to be included in this process, and that's a great thing.
Initially, I thought it'd be a little tough with my dad being being the line coach, but I've grown to see that he really only wants what's best for everybody. Like we've had some struggles with the O-line in years past, but he's always been developing everybody and having everybody get better so that we can all do it. And I think I agree with Z and Brennan that it really shows that everybody wants to be involved. My family is diehard Trinity football. We're here pre-game to well after post-game, setting stuff up and doing whatever they can.
And I just got to add, because we just talked about y'all's dads being part of the staff, but got to make a mention for the moms too. Brennan, I see your mom is super vocal in the stands. Z, your mom's a little more behind the scenes, but I know she's out there loving the team and having concerns a couple times when you have gone down. And then, of course, Jen Rosen, I mean, she's the team mom, like, for many years now. And so it's not just the dads who are involved, too. I mean, also siblings. I mean, it's really a whole family affair for sure.
Sure.
So, I mean, talking about development, and y'all have all developed in your kind of respective skill positions and line positions over the years, and now you guys are the seniors. You guys are, like, the standard to be the leaders. How do you feel like your role into the development of where you are now, kind of as your kind of position leader, has kind of led you on the team so far?
I think like my role as a line leader, like on the line, has really helped that because I've been in the spot where some of the linemen are. They're struggling sometimes. Sometimes they have a rough game, and you just gotta help pick them up after that because I've been through it. I've had tough games. And everybody has, but I think as a senior leader, specifically this year, it's been a big change for me to help pick them up after they've had rough games.
I would say just having like the leaders of past times helped me grow as a person. Seeing how they treated us when we were younger and how they helped us become better players and better men too. I feel like it's definitely helped. And also just having the support from my teammates as well. To be honest, my role in the team, nothing's really changed other than I just help a few young guys here and there. Other than that, man, I mean, I got B, I got Will, I got Coop, I got Ryan, and I got all the senior guys to help us lead. And it's a team effort. You got to help guys grow, help guys understand certain things, and just understand it's not about them, it's about the team. You got to do what's best for the team at all costs. So just helping the guys understand that, and from there, we just grow as a team. That's it.
Nah, I definitely say like I would consider myself kind of just, I wouldn't say quiet, but like more under the radar, just do my job type of guy. But this year I definitely had to step outside my comfort zone just because we were such a senior heavy team last year and we had a lot of great leaders on that team, but a lot of them are now gone. So like there's a lot of open spaces to fill and voices to fill that we have to, help lead. Like on the offense, I know we have a lot of senior linemen, but skill wise, I think I'm the only senior, and then we had Trey Grant in the backfield. But I've definitely, coach that told me all year I had to step up this year a lot and lead a lot this year, which I feel like not just myself, but other people on this team have done a really good job with.
And you've also stepped up this year in terms of there was at least one game when you played quarterback. You got return kicks. I've seen you in the secondary a little bit this year, which I think is a new thing. So you're really playing a lot of different roles. And as some of the coaches were telling me at the last game, the semifinal against Flint Hill, that you really were very vocal. Like at the end when things looked bleak, that you were like, "We've got this," and find me, and I'm gonna get us there. And you had a huge play to matriculate us down the field in that final drive, as well as drawing the key pass interference that put us in field goal range as well. I got a couple more questions. One is just about the recruiting process. So, Brennan, you're committed to the Naval Academy. You'll join a couple other Titans there, Trey Ferguson and Andrew Duhart. So we've got a nice little pipeline going to Annapolis there. Z going to Minnesota. And actually, you guys both have your college stuff on, which is cool to see. And then, Will, I know you're going through the process. I've heard some really high academic schools are involved. I don't know if you've committed yet. But just in general, whether it's like advice for younger players or just from the experiences you've had going through recruiting, and now at least for two of you kind of having that behind you, just can you talk about what the college recruitment process has been like?
Yeah, I mean, it's been up and down, and but I will say for the younger kids, I wouldn't stress it much. Really just work and don't take nothing for granted. Because you're going to have to make the plays on the field, and when the season's over and you're making your film, you're probably going to be like, oh, I wish I would have made one more play or one more big play. And you're going to realize that, and you're not going to have till next year to be able to get the opportunity to do that. So I would just say make sure you go all out every game, just because it's all about putting it on film. When colleges look at you, they're going to look at how you look body-wise, height and weight, but they're going to watch your film. That's really all it's about. So it's really just whatever you do in the field is going to control where you go to the next level.
I would just say each and every day, you got to do something that gets you better. And the most important thing I tell young guys is don't compare yourself to anybody, because everybody's process is different. Everybody goes through it different. Some of the best players I've ever played with didn't go as high. Some players that I know that maybe aren't as good did go really high and maybe haven't succeeded. So I just feel everybody's meant to where they're meant to go where they're meant to be. And as long as you go somewhere that fits you and that loves you for you, then that's all you could ask for. And I would just say, like Brennan said, what you put on the field is going to display where you go. And that's just the bottom line. There's no skipping steps. Obviously, some guys are more fortunate than others. They have the size and the height. But me, in particular, I didn't. So what I did on the field mattered. And I feel like that's one thing young guys, they need to understand as well.
I think the biggest thing about it for me was putting in the work in the off season, particularly on the field, but in the weight room, getting big and strong, because that is something that's equally as important as how you do on the field. But I think the other thing is you got to put yourself out there. Coaches aren't going to come find you. You have to go talk to them, and so that's been the biggest thing for me, is to put myself out there, which is unnatural for me, but it's what you got to do.
For sure. Okay, let's go with one more question that's kind of I just want you to think about this whole season. You guys played an incredibly tough schedule. We've had a tremendous amount of injuries. There were times when it was looking like, I'm sure you all believed the whole time, but, when we were sitting at 3-3 and down by double digits in Game 7 over at St. Christopher's, at halftime of that game, a lot of people probably maybe didn't envision y'all be playing for a state championship. Can you just talk about the roller coaster, the journey, and also for you three as senior leaders? And anybody that's been watching this interview can see how mature all you guys are. Just how you were able to stay the course through all the adversity to find yourself back on the doorstep competing for a third straight state championship.
Yeah, this season's been rough. Probably the roughest season of my whole Trinity career. But I will say, in the locker room, especially us seniors, none of us ever lost sight. We never doubted. We always knew, who we were and who we had and what we could do. I will say, we've had a lot of injuries that we've been through and all that good stuff. But, at a point of the season, I'll say maybe after Rock Creek, it became, not about stats anymore, not about any of the flashy stuff. It was just win games. Whatever we had to do, if we had to run the ball every play, if we had to, I played quarterback some. People were playing out of position. Nothing else really mattered except the win or the loss, no matter how many points we won by or any of that. It was just as long as we got to the next week with the win.
I would say, like, my dad always said this thing that Andy Reid said, when things get grim, you got to be the Grim Reaper. And I've always just felt like with the senior class, we've been through this before. 2 years ago, based on the same type of thing, break or lose, we just got smoked by St. Chris. And we ended up bonding and gelling together, and it made us stronger. And I just feel like throughout the year, we've had nicks and bruises, we had ups and downs, but like B said, the goal was still the goal. And we went back to our old motto, just win. Like, we didn't care if you had 500 yards passing or you had 0 yards rushing, doesn't matter. Like, just win by any means necessary. And sometimes it's ugly, but sometimes it looks really pretty. So no matter the cost, we just win, and that's always something that we value.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is that we've never wavered in what we knew we could do. We've always, we've never thought that, we have to change everything because we've lost this game or this game. We've always stayed true to what we know we can do and what we know we should do. And I think that even after those big losses, we came back next week, knew that we had to fix these small things, but we could fix it and come back and come out on top the next week.
Yeah, just something strikes me. Like, I don't know if you'll ever look at ESPN.com and when you look at like a box score while a game's still happening, but it actually has like real-time win probabilities. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And in the third quarter, if a team's down 15 points, it might say
9%.
they have a 9% chance or something. But I know you all didn't think this way, and neither did I, because I know who's in those uniforms and what y'all are capable of. But if you look at St. Chris down 10 in the third quarter, let's say the win probability was 20%, if you just take into account the mathematics of it. Down against Woodbury, needing a drive and needing a stop and a drive, maybe it was 30%. Flint Hill, they have the ball first down with less than 3 minutes left, deep in our territory. Win probability was probably 8%. And then to win them all, I mean, Will, you're really good at math, I've heard. Think about the chances in those 3 games to win all 3 is pretty remarkable. And maybe hopefully Saturday you don't find yourself behind. But even if you do, you have that experience to draw on of digging yourself out of those holes before. It's pretty cool to think about.
Well, that's Trinity football, if you ask me. I mean, that's the epitome of Trinity football, where most teams crumble, we stand up. And I tell guys all the time, after St. Michael's, every other team in Virginia would have crumbled after that game, and the locker room would have fell apart. I think after that, we just went deeper. Practice got harder, guys went tougher. That's it. That's what made us the best to me.
All right, let's do a little lightning round, do some kind of fun questions, quick answers. Sylvia, you can do this too. You join in this for the lightning round. All right, let's start with your just favorite football player.
Odell Beckham Jr.
Buda Baker.
George Kittle.
Oh God, Sam Howell. Yeah, Washington TV.
Let's go. Favorite class you've taken at Trinity?
Ooh, drawing and painting.
Your history class.
Physics.
Yeah, physics.
What teammate do you admire the most?
Trey Ferd, or I guess he's not my teammate
Well,
anymore.
no, that counts. It could be someone who's
No, I would say
graduated.
Trey Ferd.
I would say my brother Elijah.
Cooper Gardner.
So you, Mr. Hamlin? Yeah, let's see.
Thanks, Silvio. I thought you were going to say James Woodward, but okay, fair enough.
Dope.
Yeah.
Who is the funniest player on the team?
Big Mike.
Tegan Logan.
Yeah, I'd have to say Tegan.
I'll tell you, it's pretty funny. Yeah.
In 10 years, where do you think you will be? On a ship somewhere, probably for you.
If I'm no longer playing football, somewhere with my own business.
Hopefully NFL. If not, sitting on the porch drinking lemonade with my kids and my wife.
Doing engineering, some firm, doing math, science.
Yeah, I was in engineering, some firm.
Yeah, or maybe you'll be running TESPN in 10 years, so yeah. All right, let's do a couple more kind of fun ones. Favorite pregame meal or snack?
I can't eat before the game.
A banana and granola.
Waffle House with the lineman.
Yeah, like Chick-fil-A every game.
And favorite like hype song that gets you really pumped up? Make sure the title's appropriate.
Super Yours by Lucky.
That's tough. I would say Misery Loves Company by ESTG.
Bulls on Parade.
I'm not even sure. I don't really listen to music.
Sylvia listens to Onward Titans, the Trinity fight song before the games. And finally, this one's just like a little bit more serious, but for all four of you, the three in uniform, as well as Sylvia on the mic on Saturday, when Saturday's game ends and you take off that uniform or headset, in Sylvia's case, for the last time, what do you think you'll be thinking about?
Hopefully, I'll be as happy as I've been ever. As long as we handle business, that's how it'll be.
I'll be proud. Like, no matter what, like, I would be proud and happy with the compliment we made. But, one thing's for sure, that a championship would definitely make me cry.
Yeah, I think just probably tired, but happy that I gave everything I gave. Like, gave everything I had.
Yeah, definitely, like, getting to know a bunch of rosters, a bunch of guys over the years, and all coming to an end with one of my favorite sports to commentate. Kind of going to be really happy with what I did.
Well, it's been a pleasure to have you guys. I mean, every time we have had football players on, it just impresses me so much. All of you have kind of the same mindset. You talk about the standard. You talk about how you hold yourselves accountable. The bond of brothers that you have, and obviously the success has shown that you really live out what you talk about. And anyone who's watching this, we just hope everybody gets out to Benedictine on Saturday. It's going to be a fantastic occasion. Cannot wait. Silvio and I will be in the booth one last time together. It's like our fourth encore. We keep thinking it's going to end, but this one for sure is the last one. And Titan Nation, come out, show out. These guys have put blood, sweat, and tears literally into this program. It's their last time putting on the pads and the uniform, and just can't wait. It's going to be a great occasion, and thank you all so much for joining us. We'll see you next time.